Peace and love, the king. Why suffering with bad digestion if yoga can prevent and cure these problems? So I'm sitting now in Baddha Konasana. So Baddha Konasana needs to be like a natural sitting pose when you watch TV or you read a book or something, because we come from the ground. If you sit in these sofas, you will go down a bit, and it's very bad for your back and your hips getting more stiff by all this expensive, unnatural, denatured comfort. When we lived in Africa in the beginning, in India long ago, and now these days the tribes everywhere and the people in India still eating on the ground, sitting on the ground. So this is a huge benefit for your back, for your hips. And think about when we eat, we need to eat by the circadian rhythms. So what does it mean? Depending where you are in the world, you need to take 2 hours from the highest point of the sun in the day. 2 hours before that, that's your first meal. 2 hours after that is your second meal, and then done. Then you have the most energy for your digestion. And that is how we were eating in nature long ago. We did not eat in the dark because there were no lights. We went to sleep like the monkeys in nature. So in the tropics it's like 12 hours dark. We were having a long rest, which is very important. The monkeys wake up like 4:35, and then we went on the search for fruit. So when the daylight came, when the daylight appeared. Now we are far from our origin in the north. But think about it, we lost so many things from our beginning that were good for our health and for our digestion and whatever more. Now we depend more and more on pharmacy and medical, which is only a help for a while, but not for a long time, you know. So this is one of the poses, natural sitting poses, to improve your digestion. Should be done before the meal and after the meal. And what is the best place to eat your meal? The best time is the times by the circadian rhythm, the daylight diet times, or Dr. Paul Nisson, and then you need to sit on the ground in the sun, your first meal. So when you wake up, like around 9, you need to be in the sun before your meal, because then the sun is not really strong, but you need to get the sun on your body, on your whole body, before you eat your meal. And you can check Dr. Bobby Prince. He is explaining that into detail why. So it has all to do with the circadian rhythm, so that you charge the energy. The sun gives you energy. You start the energy race in your body before your meal in the early morning sun. Then the sun has a most benefit of the whole day. So we need the sun for our first meal. Sit in the sun, then second meal can be out of the sun, but daily sun is an important thing. So if you go back to the ancient times where we lived in the forest, we were making an open space like what the tribes in Africa still do, somewhere in the forest. And we got sun through the open space. But for the morning sun, the early morning sun, they need to get out of the forest, the edge of the forest, to take sun. So I'm now about, I don't know, maybe 7 minutes into this pose, and that's enough. Now I'm going into the deeper stretching, which is not possible in less than 7 minutes. So now we will go to another pose, which is the cow face pose, Mukasana. This pose is also a hip opener, but this pose is also good for improving the digestion. So we don't need to run or cycle. Yoga has more benefits because we are getting more stiff by these mono movements. So all the time moving like this, all the time moving like running, and cycling is a mono movement. Endurance, these things are not okay, so it's bad for your knees. It can be bad for your back. We were in the paradise of Eden. We were not running behind an animal. We were slowly walking and watching the colors of the fruits in the trees. Fruit is attractive, So the color is attracting animals and people. Why? To spread the seeds from the fruit. The fruit wants to be eaten. Rice does not want to be eaten. Rice is, your body will create mucus and it will not go through fully. It will leave parts behind in the small intestine because it's too dry for the stool of elimination, which has 75% water. So imagine when you eat these unnatural things as nightshades, or you eat mushrooms, which are fungi. They are a part of the breaking down in nature, that you can hear all kind of weird noises and farting much. So like fermentation in the body. Fruit is monomeal is what we are made for. So fruit monomeal, when the quality is okay of the fruit, when it's not too ripe, because then it starts ferment. When it's not too green, unripe, then it's more starchy. Those things are not optimal, but the fruit should be good ripe. And you know about the teeth, what people do is terrible. So they pull out, when I was young, my own teeth, and they were replacing it by artificial. Later on they put like a bridge, a whole piece of 5 artificial teeth in here with glue. Imagine if you go back to a natural diet, after years it will push it out, because the fruit will solve the glue, and it becomes like loose, and it falls out finally. So nature always will push out the things in the human body which are not natural. We cannot improve by pharmacy or by dental activity, dentist activity. If you look to the video of Mike Arnstein, the fruitarian, on YouTube, like a 10-year-old video, he was talking about tooth pain and the health of your mouth, and he said he doesn't eat any dried fruits because they are high in sugar. They raise your blood sugar, and they are very bad for your teeth. The acid fruits, as pineapples, is a very risky thing too. So they are very strong acid. It's very bad for your teeth. But he has never got any problem, dental problem, when he was young, before eating the fruit. He did, but finally he kept all his own teeth, and he has never got a problem again on the fruit. And he doesn't clean much, which I was not doing also most of the years. But you know, you are in a place in the tropics, as Tanglewood, high up in the mountains, and the fruit is never ripe over there. It's picked too early for the transport up to the mountains, and that is not okay. it's only good in the jackfruit season, in the Kaimito season, when you can harvest from your own place. But what is there in the rain season? Bananas. Bananas is not okay to have as a staple food. It dries you out. Okay, let's go to the yoga roll. So these are the three poses which are natural sitting poses for us, and these gonna improve the digestion when you do it before your meals and after your meals. And don't forget to eat your first meal in the sun. Rastafari, peace and love.